everyone. Good morning. Microsoft Build 2026 happened in the beginning of June. So this is the biggest development conference by Microsoft, where they make a lot of tech announcements, share the trends and their technology/development vision. So this year was not an exclusion, and we got a lot of, from my perspective, there was a lot of interesting content. And we actually, what we did, we watched as much as we can. We had internal discussions, debates, some extra materials, and today I think we are ready to share what seemed to us the most interesting from the perspective of .NET developer. Okay, so folks, before we start, let's just have a quick discussion. So first question: Did you like this build this year, and what are your observations? I can start. For example, my personal feeling is that this year we got a lot of quite deep dive sessions. Most of them were related to AI and its applicability, but the quality of the sessions was quite high, and it was not like hello world sessions. Like there were shown quite complicated patterns, applicability of Gen AI, even from and a lot of sessions were like from the perspective of .NET development. That's good. What else I noticed? Not a lot of topics about Azure. Maybe I just didn't watch in the right direction, but it seemed like this year there was not too much Azure. And I also, it seemed to me like there was something like a desktop development renaissance, a lot of sessions about desktop development, which is a little bit surprising, but maybe it's a time when there is a demand on high-performing desktop applications, not just only web. So that's my thoughts. What do you think, Artur, Volodya, Alexander?
I agree. Yeah, for me, it's like they moved to another direction, because before they tried to show us like AI capability in more serious manner. Yeah, but now like sessions a little bit quiet about AI, because they try to show how you can use AI, what approaches, etc., etc., from the first hands, from the guys who who introduce, for instance, agent skills and etc., etc. And or for instance, the guys who created GitHub Copilot CLI SDK for it. Now they tried for this particular build, they show real practical samples rather than some learning materials with, as you mentioned, Hello World, and that's all. And also some interesting aspects related new capabilities for Windows, and like I like it because and fun and some fun sessions,
sessions,
of course. And also, from all the sessions, from fun sessions and so on, you're able to underline something interesting, that everything rely on the humans, and you are like the final stage in the AI workflow, and you need to understand
your central place, basically.
You need to understand how to apply it, and so on.
And I'm not sure if it is a kind of marketing thing that Microsoft tries to highlight, that the way how Microsoft looks at AI today is not a replacement; it is an assistant of a human. So they are developing AI not to replace the people, but to empower them. Obviously, it sounds a little bit like marketing, but at least they are saying it like that. Volodya, Alexander, your thoughts?
Yeah, this conference had different vibes in comparison with previous ones. It was more focused on developers probably they finally listened to old advice of I forgot his name. Because
Steve
like
Ballmer?
Steve Ballmer, because probably they finally noticed that they can try to sell AI like the way they did before, but without adoption, without developers. Like no one will use it, no one will consume all these tokens, no one will buy all the services. And another change is direction which I noticed, which was not so significant comparison with different ones, but it's desktop development and kind of trying to fix the gaps that they accumulated in a Windows, because they're trying to kind of resurrect WinUI 3, spend more resources on it, use it more widely for their internal and external tooling, and like it might be related to their kind of Windows key to activity where when they try to ditch all this web and performance
performance gaps that
parts it's called differently, but it's parts across the Windows to reduce complaints from real users and get a more like to give better impression about
the quality of the operations. Yeah, okay, agree. Alexander?
Yeah, so my impression is that they are trying to do the AI. There's not a separate direction. They want to do it as a part of .NET. That's kind of my impression that they are going to do. Also, I like that they pay special attention for local AI models, which is a person I like. And of course, .NET development and .NET desktop development, which is a person I also like. What I didn't like, and it is kind of same thing that is happening every year. They still have a sounds and problem in their session. A lot of sessions that have a very bad quality of sound.
Technical issues.
That's weird. Yeah. Looks like they not able to buy microphones to their speakers, and that's strange.
We buy. So Arthur has a really nice one. Okay. Right, yeah. Now let's go through the links that we have here and just briefly highlight what we recommend to watch and read. So first of all, of course, if you are interested in in getting like overall impression about the build, you need to watch keynotes. So there was Satya Nadella, a main speaker. There was also this Huang guy, quite famous one, we know him, right?
Mr. Jacket.
Mr. Jacket, right? Like it's 2.5 hours, but during these 2.5 hours, you will get some like brief updates about all things that happen then over the next couple of days during the build session. Not a deep dive, but just shallow things which might be enough for you to be in a context. So definitely using like X2, X3 speed. If you have the subscription, you can quickly watch and listen the keynotes, and that would be a good starting point for you. There is also a dedicated website regarding build, so with this nicely looking animations, you can explore links that's highlighted by Microsoft. So this website is also here, and you can try to find something from it. I can't say it is extremely useful, but maybe you will find something from it. Right. So then obviously we need to talk about the AI part and highlight most interesting AI things that were announced during the build. And obviously this year, as a previous one, as the year before, AI topics were central topics. So I think the biggest announcement that we hear on build session is now Microsoft announced actually their own models. So historically, Microsoft relied on a partnership with OpenAI, and GPT models were like a part of Microsoft offerings almost everywhere. For some reason, Microsoft decided that they wanted to be a little bit independent from this company, so they launched. So they probably started a year or so ago to develop these models, and today they announced them and introduced to the wide audience. I didn't see them. I didn't see them yet in GitHub Copilot available. So maybe Artur, you will tell how to start trying
It should
them.
be available, but not for business licenses. It's available for personal, free, pro, max.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so yes, so it's not available for our licenses, the license that we have. So this Microsoft.ai is a special site dedicated to AI, and in this article, Microsoft briefly describes their models. It's all of them are prefixed by MAI, which is probably means Microsoft AI. So they have a thinking model, the model dedicated for code, image generation. Interesting that they compare with Nano Banana and tell that it has a better scoring, transcription model, and voice generation. So maybe this voice too, Artur, you can use for your song productions.
Yes, but you're able to try it, because as you can see, you have a button on the top right corner.
Try models. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it moves you to like similar, like we have Google AI Studio, for instance,
Okay.
and yeah, you're able to try any models, generate image, etc.
Cool.
Yeah, you don't need to have any subscription.
Oh, that's good. I didn't notice that. Thanks for highlighting. So probably we need to talk about these two models because there is a chance that we will deal with them over the next months or so. So this MAI thinking is the flagship model, right? It is thinking, which is not means like this real thinking. It just means that model has extended context and it's actually has a conversation internally. How I understand it, Artur, you can correct me. When you make a prompt, it has like internal loop of conversations with itself to get a better output for you when it generates the response. And am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
And moreover, yeah, one note regarding the reason models, because when we see something in the chat, for instance, GitHub Copilot, etc., and we see like thoughts, but it's not real thoughts of the model. It's like a summary with some with some layer of sanitizing, because in order to prevent understanding how the model thinks, etc., we just see some summarization, and it's not real thoughts of the model.
Okay, so this model, MAI thinking one, Microsoft compares with Sonnet, and Microsoft actually shows some benchmarks here, and it according to their evaluation. Well, it's strange, but Sonnet has a higher score here, so it's close to Sonnet 4.6. It's weaker than Opus and closer to Sonnet from the quality perspective, but
closer
probably
to DeepSeek.
Yeah,
by numbers.
By numbers. So Microsoft actually right now places this positions this model as a competitor of Sonnet, and probably in their ecosystem like Copilot and others, they will just give a better offering of this model than the Sonnet, because Sonnet is also available. Probably it will be just more expensive, Sonnet comparing to MAI.
Yeah, it's always important to check it by yourself later on, because they like to show this trust me bro benchmarks all the time, but it's just the numbers in their personal announcement, they say that in some blind tests for humans prefer their models in some cases.
Yeah. So definitely depends on the task that you're going to solve, on the context and the quality of your prompts. Anyways, like real competitor of thinking models from Anthropic, not still as far as Opus, but this is the first attempt. That's good. They are trying to compete. That's good. More vendors, better offerings we have on our tables. What else? So there is another model, MAI Code 1 Flash, which is a competitor of Haiku. Like it's not as deep, probably has smaller context and etc. But Microsoft tells it will be very fast and it will be a very, very strong integration with all the Microsoft tooling, and there is a chance it will be just better from the perspective of the performance, right?
What about price?
Didn't see any prices. No, I didn't see.
Because these days price matters. They changed pricing model.
Oh yeah.
You pay per token. So
yeah. I've already got few developers who spent out all the monthly limits in their Copilot subscription, and now they need to remember how to
write code by
how to by exactly. Yeah. Which is like they are frustrated because of that. They are frustrated. Okay, so what else? I think another important part of this announcement is this Microsoft Frontier tuning. This is interesting. So what we currently have when we start working with particular models, we just have generic purpose models. Then we can do some, let's say, RAG to get better outputs tailored to our business domains and our needs. What else we can do? Basically, not a lot. We can put some context and that's it. We cannot customize the models. Well, at least on a basic level, right? What, again, Artur, please correct me if I'm wrong. What Microsoft Frontier tuning is going to offer is a customization of the model on an advanced level. So you can, let's say, you are starting from a generic purpose model, then you can customize a part of it, and at the end, you will get better responses from your model because the model was trained on your data. Well, at least part of it, not the whole retraining. It's part of training, part of the model that will have some context about your domain, about your case. It depends on you how you decide to do that. And the result is that the outputs are more precise and you get better value per token. I'm not sure how they measure that, but the value per token, they promise to be higher when you use this frontier tuning.
Yeah, it's strange that they highlighted that the price is lower, because if you take a look on some prices for OpenAI or Azure AI service, we can see that any fine-tuning model that you are going to use, I mean, you made fine-tuning and now you're going to use this model, and the price is higher for input and output tokens rather than the frontier model. But if they highlighted
maybe it is because they maybe it is because they mention quality. They're not comparing tokens; they're comparing quality.
Maybe.
Yeah. So interesting opportunity, and it will be interesting if real customers start adopting this, and what will be the result. But the interesting technology highlighted. Okay. Let's move on, right? OpenClaw on Windows. Another announcement. Maybe you will not evaluate it as a big announcement, but quite an interesting one. So Who can explain in few words what is OpenClaw?
I haven't tried.
So it's a nice trampoline for its after to get acquired by OpenAI and get a bunch of bugs.
Yeah. So I actually tried after this announcement. So basically what it allows you to do, you can set up OpenClaw on your machine, then expose a gateway, and this gateway will be able to connect different messengers with the particular AI model. You can also give your model some tools. It can get the access to the web, to your mailbox, and etc. So there is a potential to make this tool like and the second brain, right? Term that was used. So and you can manage this OpenClaw and give the tasks to your connected AI models through different messages, which sounds quite interesting, but dangerous, right? And this what was shown by Microsoft on the session. That I think there was a session with Scott Hanselman, who actually tried to delete, maybe not this guy. Actually, you were talking, Volodya, about him who created OpenClaw. I think on one of the sessions, Hanselman tried to delete. No, this not this one. I think in the first one, tried to delete, ask the AI to delete the files on his PC, and they showed like because you restricted the permissions, yeah, so it was not able to do that. So because this application has a controlled permission system, so you can get particular folders the access as a read-only access through the app. This app is a new one for specially designed for Windows, and they highlighted that it was designed and implemented with WinUI, not a React. Yeah. So anyway, if you wanted to play with OpenClaw, it's a good time to do that.
I believe now is more popular like Hermes, yeah, agent. It's also automated agents that enable to do a lot of things, and for me, it's like now it's more.
It's your preference, okay?
No, it's not preference. I would say it's like now hype around it more.
Okay. So OpenClaw is not on the top of a
it's
hype anymore.
Less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it goes down. Okay. So no reason then to try OpenClaw. Use Hermes as Arthur suggested. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Agent skills. I know you liked it. You liked this session. So this is the website, agentskills.io. I saw a lot of different websites, repositories. What is that, Arthur?
But it's the main site, yeah, where you're able to understand.
So this is the origin. This is the origin.
Origin, yeah.
Okay.
Where you're able to understand what is skills.
Only 20,000 stars. That's not a lot.
Yeah.
Not trusted.
Yeah, just to specification of what can be included in the skill, how it should organize in your repository, etc. Or not in repository, maybe you're able to use some skill only for you, and you're able to
store it locally.
Store it locally. I mean, not locally, in your user folder.
Yeah.
And also some interesting that like if you take a look some other links, and for instance from like this one, Eddie IO.
You wanted me
clip,
to show this.
where is the clip? Yeah, for instance, when you click on the Agent Skills Explorer, or like this, you're able to understand what is skill, how it should organize it, etc. And yeah, it's more funny way. You're able to understand the skill purpose, how it should look, etc. And also, if you go to the GitHub for Edios Money, it contains a lot of skills, in particular for development, for spec-driven development, and in some more automated way, you're able to introduce the skill folder for your project, for your purpose. But again, as I mentioned before, on all sessions, they highlighted that something is working for one team, can not work for you. In this case, you need to adjust all skills, all commands, etc., etc. So just to highlight, we have a good skill, we have a good workflow. You can use it as a background, for your workflow, but it would be better to adjust.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to discuss. So basically, this repository has 63,000 stars, and if you do the dive into specific skills, most likely you realize they are not applicable for your specific project. So really, you need just to have the basic. From my perspective, correct me if there could be a different opinion, but projects are so unique. So instead of grabbing the skills from Eddie Uzmani or any other repository, you can just learn the efficient way of writing the skills, and then you can really quickly generate the skills through the GenAI itself. It's easy. It's easy and fast, and then you will be specific for your project. So I don't understand why these repositories are so popular. Maybe I'm missing something here.
Interesting. Who is contributing to this project? I mean, who is
anyone? You can generate.
Who decide to merge something? By what criteria?
Okay, yeah. So how they are checking the quality of the skills, right? So for me, this repository is looking a little bit like a garbage.
Trash bin.
Trash bin, yeah. Trash bin,
but
exactly.
It's not so famous repository about the skill. I believe we have met, I don't remember, at Pakok, maybe something like this, and his repository has 100,000 stars. But to be honest, it's not something special in these skills. Just everybody click star and it becomes so popular repository from my perspective, of course.
Okay. Right. So discussed then. This is I like. This is something I like. GitHub Copilot SDK. Artur, will you introduce?
Oh,
Another one SDK.
But it's good SDK for me. It's so handy, so good. Easy to use in real. It's I don't know. Again, for me, it's in good way, in more understandable way, how you're able to utilize GitHub Copilot CLI via SDK, and it supports different platforms, Rust, .NET, TypeScript, but I believe the most new features are added to the TypeScript, and after that it goes to other languages. So what you can do with SDK, you're able to add a new layer on top of the CLI, add new capabilities, and add new tools to your GitHub Copilot that you're not able to do with CLI itself. And for instance, of course, you're able, it's like example, you're able to use Jira MCP server, but as we know, MCP servers too heavy, and it contains a lot of tokens, but for you just need to receive a Jira ticket, for instance. In this case, you are able to create your own tool and use via SDK with GitHub Copilot without any issues, and so on. What you can do, because in my case, what I created, for instance, I have Microsoft Agent Framework, where I have agents that are built with Azure OpenAI service. But also I have agents that utilize CLI, GitHub Copilot CLI with different capabilities. And what I did that any agents, it doesn't matter CLI or based on the
Cloud.
Azure OpenAI, cloud, will be able to use each agent as sub-agents. So for instance, you have CLI agents, but CLI agent is able to call cloud agents without any issues, but you're not able to do it with CLI itself. And like you're able to extend this capability.
I mean, that's definitely a lot of things that you can do. It's not maybe obvious why you need this SDK until you try. What I really liked in the support here is that this Microsoft Agent Framework. I think it's really nice. It is a very solid abstraction on top of different cloud providers. I told cloud providers, AI providers, and this Copilot SDK. It also nicely integrates with Microsoft Agent Framework. And basically what I did as a proof of concept, I used the Copilot CLI as just an API for agent, just to expose the agent capabilities to my application, to get some image recognition functionality, to try how it works, because you can basically make all the calls through your Copilot CLI. You can do the image recognition, whatever you want, through the command line interface that then obviously calls the remote AI. But a lot of things that you can basically use Copilot subscription to do things that you previously was able to do only through the API calls.
By the way, since Copilot CLI allows you to use local model even without logging into GitHub account, so in case it should be possible for you to use this SDK to run model locally on like Llama CPP and something like that without any license, without any external API, just with SDK.
Yeah.
And also, they highlighted about some additional features like isolations, etc., because it's important to have some isolations. And before I didn't understand why we need some like additional functions for communication with your file system, for instance. But here in this particular session, Steve Sanderson show us why we need it, because in real you're able to create your own file system communication. In this case, the Copilot will use your file system, and you can create some virtual file systems that cannot be affected by your real file system on your laptop, for instance. As a result, GitHub Copilot won't be able to read some sensitive data, etc., like a proxy between your files and virtual files. And it's a really good showcase that was showed by Steve. And I like Steve because he showed really interesting cases that you can utilize for your purpose without any downgrades.
Okay, so let's move on. And Alexander, Volodya, I'm asking you to review some questions in the chat. I think you can address some of them. One about Avalonia, another about clean architecture. I know you like these topics. AI building blocks. Really quickly. So this is very nice session by Steve Sander. Oh no, it's not Steve Sander. I thought it's Steve. Okay, it was not Steve, but this
Look
person.
Look how AI changes people.
Yeah. Right. So this is a very nice session where this person showed the building blocks, and on the Microsoft dev blogs there is a series of posts from Jeremy who is doing pretty same things, and I think most of that was covered in this session. Right, so I think no extra comments here. This session, from CLI to pull requests, automating the path to merged code.
I believe it can be merged, to sessions. I mean, to these last two topics.
Okay. Okay. So just then quick comments from your end, Artur, on that.
It's just like to utilize GitHub Copilot, and the second, when we can use a new application from the GitHub, like Copilot app, and the person who created all this stuff walk through all aspects, what you can do. You can create, for instance, for GitHub app, you are able to create dynamic canvas for yourself. You can create a board where you are able to move your issues from GitHub, etc. Like dynamically, you are able to do this stuff. And it's pretty interesting session to see from the guy, from the person who created all this stuff.
Yeah. So interesting that there is a separate application for GitHub Copilot now. So it's not GitHub for committing; it is GitHub for working with the repositories through the AI perspective. Okay. Local AI. There were a few sessions about showing the new capabilities of Windows to work with local AI models. First of all, we are getting these Windows AI APIs. Basically, this is about running some AI capabilities on your Windows Copilot Plus PCs, which is, I think, almost each and every PC nowadays. I mean, the modern one. So some of these capabilities are available if you just have a CPU, do not have this NPU cores. NPU cores are special cores that are a part of the CPU. I think on most modern Intel processors, we do have these NPUs. And locally, you have the capabilities to this Phi Silica, text recognition, speech recognition, video super resolution, image resolution, image description, image segmentation, object trace, image generation. So that's all these capabilities. AI capabilities are available through the Windows AI API, and you can make, if you are doing like some .NET desktop development, you can make an application that utilizes these AI capabilities and, let's say, generates images or just generates synthesis the voice, converts, makes OCR, recognition of the text by images. So that's all available, and there is an application in AI Dev Gallery to play with it. So, for example, this is showing how arrays objects works. So probably need to recommend to try it to my wife because we're making a lot of photos during the vacations, and there is a high demand on erasing subjects and objects from photos. Okay, and this one, this is WinML CLI. WinML CLI is a tool that can help you to prepare ML models through the command line interface. There could be a reason why you might need this. So you have a set of data and you wanted to build a model that will be able to predict something based on your set. So you have now command line tool to do that on Windows.
I would say here more interesting that Microsoft highlighted about Onyx runtime for the models. I heard about it a lot of times, and more interesting that now you're able to convert any models from the Hugging phase to Onyx runtime. Moreover, it will be in more efficient way based on your architecture of the laptop or etc. based on the GPU, NPU, or CPU. And because now on the Hugging phase, approximately maybe 40,000 of models only supports Onyx runtime, but now you're able to convert any models from the Hugging phase to this runtime and utilize from C# code, for instance, and use it.
Yeah, so really interesting to play with the local Windows AI APIs.
Just
I
out of
think
curiosity for this local run of models, like we have all these NPU modules in modern laptops, but do you know of any like real world benchmarks? Is it making any real difference to run it on NPU, or maybe it's more efficient to run it on integrated graphics, or maybe CPU is more powerful? Because this NPU is like might be like just a checkbox.
marketing,
Copilot,
marketing.
Copilot enabled NPU, all
Yeah,
this stuff, but
I agree. It could be
it will
just
generate like
marketing.
2 tokens per second, and like good luck to try to use it.
Yeah, that's good point, and I think we need to explore that. Maybe on a separate session to see what is the performance. And I mean, it shouldn't be only just tokens generation. Like working with images locally is also a nice capability, or like generating the like text to speech or vice versa would be useful. Okay, .NET. So there was not a lot of like .NET dedicated sessions, but there was a lot of .NET. It's interesting. So a lot of .NET with in combined with the AI topics, with AI sessions. But there were a few just purely .NET sessions. One was from I know you don't like this guy Volodya Rich Lander, but basically he. I don't know why you don't like him. So basically, in this session, they told about everything that we discussed previously during our community events, like shared the .NET 11 capabilities, what runtime changes should we expect, of course, about runtime async things, new process API, some improvements that runtime async does to us, gives to us, and you can go through the preview 5 article and see what's really new. What should we expect in .NET 11? So there was a short session, really short one, 25 minutes, from the language designer, C# language designers, Matt Torgensen and Dustin Campbell, and they were focused on just unions. So it's the session full about unions. And what I really liked, I think there is a capability to build your own types that will behave like a union, so it will be automatically like compiler supported thing. So all that you need to do is to mark your struct or whatever with union, and then you can customize the behavior of the union.
That is a temporary things because it is not yet in release.
And
if you want to try it, you need to do the following steps that they showed.
It's not a temporary sync. It's sync which will be generated automatically by compiler, but the things that they introduced to make transition from current libraries which are in market already easier for end user.
But in the future, you don't need to do this manually. If you
yes,
you register union,
you don't need to do it manually right now as well.
Because you don't have unions yet, because they are only in .NET 11 preview.
Right.
Like if you scroll down, they should show how like union is defined without this attribute, without interface. They just show like what is generated.
I cannot scroll down. This is video, Volodya.
Maybe scroll back like to earlier when they had very simple.
I need some Gen AI to generate me the scrolled version of the
Future is real, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no scrolls. Okay. Well, anyway, I think we shouldn't stop here for long. So just a full session dedicated to unions, the biggest C# change in .NET 11.
Yeah, and they assure the union in good way because you can understand why it needs, etc., etc. And they said without any hesitation, like, oh, it's the best implementation in any language of unions. It's
Okay.
better than in TypeScript, they said.
Okay, that's good.
But it's much worse than much worse than in Rust. Just
Okay, so you are becoming more and more rusty, Volodya.
yeah,
Okay.
older, rusty.
Right. So this .NET on hardware, kind of strange session, but about .NET on the hardware. MAUI, you know. Okay, let's skip this. So just a session about .NET on hardware, but it was not very deep, I would say, right, Alexander? Or you
They
like
just explain how currently working and will be working with a dedicated hardware in your smartphones, for example, how to work with Bluetooth and all those stuff.
Which is not like a big hardware, right? To work. So if they, let's say,
there's not a direct hardware communication, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're interested in something like that and doing .NET automation at home, like you have a Raspberry or any other small PC, and you wanted to make some automation, that's easy. Just use .NET and API. Okay, cross-platform section. Surprisingly, there were a lot of sessions from Uno team. I actually thought like this project is fully commercial, but there was a lot of sessions from Uno. And of course, they mixed it with AI to make it more fancy. So for those who don't know, this is kind of open source project, but I think you will have to pay for extras as usual, as with Avalonia. Basically, I would say it is a Avalonia competitor, right?
Yes, I would
but
say yes.
From technical standpoint, it's closer to MAUI, because they use native controls.
Yeah. So another cross-platform .NET framework, and probably you will have to pay once you start to use it for commercial. I don't know. Need to check the licenses. Kind of popular repository, 10,000 keys.
But Avalonia now also not free for commercial.
Yeah. Right.
It is free for commercial, just some extra stuff which is not
but
free.
I would say it will
but
be
framework
necessary.
itself, you can just use it.
Framework, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, might be interesting for people exploring cross-platform .NET development and ready to pay. MAUI, there was a session about MAUI, and in MAUI in .NET 11 will be a big shift. So it moves to core CLR from mono runtime. I would expect significant boost in its performance after that, because obviously mono runtime was not under active development. It was mostly in the maintained mode, because Microsoft had to do that, and they will proceed doing that until they migrate Blazor to core CLR. But yeah, MAUI was also presented on a session. Aspire. So the session about Aspire, I know, Arthur, you liked it, because they showed how Aspire can orchestrate your complex applications that engage a lot of components, AI interactions. It's all available through your single Aspire run. We started actively adapting Aspire for running and testing Lambdas locally. Very handy. AWS Lambdas. I think Aspire now proved that it's a good solid product and deserves to be developed and evolved. If you do not have Aspire, but you need to run some complex setups locally, you should definitely try.
Interesting part is that it's not .NET Aspire anymore, it's just Aspire, and it has capability to run it without .NET at all. It's on TypeScript.
You can run.
It provides TypeScript kind of bindings or wrapper as well.
Yes. they're trying to step in the areas of other programming languages. This is I really like WSL Containers. So this session is a deep dive session about running containers on Windows, Linux containers on Windows through the container API. Basically, you can do the same right now. You can create WSL to Linux VM, install all the Docker components there, Docker runtime, and etc. Then you can expose Docker daemon to Windows, install on a Windows Docker CLI, and run containers from Windows on your Linux WSL. This is what I was, and I'm still doing that, and I did that for a previous 4 or 5 years, 4, I guess. So what they did, they finally just make it native, and you can get this WSLC utility that has very similar to Docker or Podman API. So it's command line interface tool that does pretty same things, and under the hood it does exactly the same things. It communicates with WSL virtual machine and runs all the containers in it. It's just more natively and out of the box by Microsoft, which is good.
Hopefully at some point they also will provide some WinUI 3 based UI for this WSL containers, because for Podman you have Podman desktop, for Docker we have Docker desktop.
Yeah. I think one of the even suggestions was to make an alias for this container tool to let's say Docker. If all your scripts called Docker previously, you can make a alias and have the same experience. Yeah. So this is basically the architecture. This is Linux virtual machine, and this WSL command line utility will just communicate through hypervisor and with Linux virtual machine to spin up the container. Oh no, it's direct communication, or it's just a matter of errors. Yeah, and they use even this MAUI runtime. Okay, so this is nice, but you are able to do that right now. I think this is still not released. If we go by link, yeah, it's a new feature coming to WSL. Currently is in development. So you can view the progress. You cannot probably start using it right now, or you can. I didn't try. If somebody tried, please let us know in the chat. Cool. And the last 2 sessions, it's just a pure joy to watching these 2 guys, Scott Hanselman and Mark. How's
Rusinovich.
Rusinovich, yeah. Both these guys are Microsoft mastodons. I think they are Microsoft employees maybe for 30 years or so. They were at Microsoft forever, probably.
Per each.
Yeah. And it's interesting to track them and to observe their career passes, and they are still top presenters on Microsoft conferences after 30 years of work or whatever. And they're really experienced. They're strong engineers, strong developers, and now I think they are really enjoying doing things that they are doing. They're very, very funny. A lot of jokes, a lot of it's just enjoyable sessions to watch. And this first session, they were kind of like a hosts, and they invited some people from other people from Microsoft. There was, for example, our favorite Steve Sanderson, who presented a fully hallucinating operational system. So he wrote a project that kind of operational system, and everything that you are trying to open or ask to open, it generates right on the go. So like he called this VibeOS. Yeah, VibeOS. And this is like a real operation system. So he ran it through the hypervisor, VirtualBox, right? VirtualBox. So used VirtualBox. So once he tried to run the calculator, calculator is generated. When he ran, like, let's say, Internet Explorer was generated by the GenAI. Like really fun stuff. And there were a few other sessions like that. For example, this is the application that queried the data through the CSS selectors. So you write a SQL query, then this SQL query is translated to CSS and query the data. Very funny. And there were a lot of sessions like that. All of them are really just interesting to watch. And there was another session like that, also by Scott and Mark Rusinovich. Same vibes, like a lot of jokes, a lot of discussions of very experienced people who are still top presenters at Microsoft after 30 or so years of working. Okay. Right, so that's it, and we are actually almost out of time. Well, I hope you enjoyed the session. Do not forget to say some warm words in the comments and give some stars to the speakers. If you have any questions, let's proceed the discussion in our chat. Any final thoughts, Artur, Volodya, Sasha?
Just need to create VibeOS.
VibeOS, okay. Yeah, VibeOS Service Pack 2.
Yes.
Okay, so I think on these topics we are coming to the end. Thanks everyone for joining, and have a great weekend. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.